there's a lot of creators that are in our same space that their children are like, 11, 12, 13 years old. So it's like however long we want to drag this on, we can technically probably do it for another 6, 7 years if we really, really wanted to.
Yeah. How old are your kids right now?
They're 6 and 8.
6 and 8. Okay, so you got time.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of time. What I'm always afraid of is one day they say, "This is embarrassing. My friends at school are making fun of me because you put a dress on me and da-da-da, this and that." And they come and they say, "I quit." Yeah. That's what I'm afraid of. Because if they quit, they quit. I'm not going to force them to do anything they don't want to do,
Yeah.
And so that is almost more of a fear than anything else, is that they just don't want to do it anymore.
That's such an interesting thought. I never even thought about it that way, but you're very right. Like, these are your partners. All 4 of you are partners in this.
And they're their own human beings. They have their own thoughts and ideas of how they want their life to go. And who am I to stand in the way of them,
Yeah.
But what I would love is to get a show for my son. He loves gaming, everything gaming. He likes creating games. He likes the whole thing. I would love to get a show for him about that, the stuff that he loves.
Yeah.
And the stuff about my daughter, as she grows and she develops interests, we can cater to the show to that. And then at a certain point when they turn 12, 13, 14, they can have the show. That's theirs. That's
their own
theirs.
like spin-off, basically.
No, they just have the whole show,
Yeah.
They take their show and they get up and they do whatever they want with it. And they've got a career for the future. That would be the dream. But, I mean, we're talking about 10 years down the line. But how great would that be to give to your children a career that they can make good money doing?
Now, is that a show like its own channel type thing on YouTube, or is that a show like are you taking?
No, it's like their channel. So
their own channel.
Yeah, her thing's it's called the Stella Show, and his is the Jameson Show.
Got it.
So we just always call it the show, right?
The show, yeah.
So, but their channel, letting them have their channel, and just letting them do whatever they want with it, whatever their passion is, and teach them how to do it along the way. And
That's
that would
so
be
interesting.
Wouldn't that be rad though?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool to be able to hand the kids. I mean, it's essentially their own business, like when they're teenagers.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And then if we can do that, and here's a tough part too, is that there's always this conversation: what amount of the revenue should be their revenue opposed to our revenue, right?
Yeah.
So right now, again, like the burden of the work is on me. And in order to really do it correctly, I have to not work so that I can do this thing really good.
Yeah.
So we make sure to put money aside for them, but a lot of the revenue that comes in pays for our life.
For
right?
sure.
Yeah. And it's not like my wife and I, we don't live some opulent lifestyle. We're not over at the Mastro's Ocean Club every weekend.
Yeah.
So we make sure to pay for our life. We give them a good life, and we put plenty of money aside. And then on top of that, if we're able to hand off this channel to them when they get older, I will feel like we have done them a great, great service, and I will never feel bad about using this as our primary source of income.
That's interesting. Who, if I might ask, who's had that conversation with you? Is it between you and your wife, or have the kids actually asked about money, or
no?
is
The
this
kids
other
have
people?
never asked about money.
So this is other people then, or
this is other people. So conversations we've had with other creators. So obviously, other creators are they think the same way we do. Where this is okay because we're providing a great life for our kids. We're not stressing them out. We're spending a lot of time with them. This is okay to do this, right?
I would think the same thing. Like, but there are people on the other side of the argument.
Oh yeah, there's people, and a lot of times when I tell people what I'm doing, and if I'm in a situation like you and I are, and we're just kind of joking back and forth, they might joke like, "Oh, you're exploiting your children," type thing. And yeah, I know it's a joke, but there's some truth to people thinking that we're exploiting our children for our own personal gain.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
they're for sure kind of a. I mean, it's not even a hidden dagger. It's like they're saying it as a joke, but no, they're kind of serious about it. But I'm puzzled by that at the same time because, I mean, it makes sense that, like, I don't know. I'm an immigrant, so our family has always worked together to provide an income for each other.
Yeah, in rural America, the children work the farms. That's not an unusual thing,
Exactly. It's a very, I would say, a very Caucasian, and not just Caucasian, but a city Caucasian standpoint of, like, very privileged to be able to say, like, what you're doing is exploitation of your children. Because if you were on a farm,
that's real work right there.
that's like, I mean, that's not YouTube. That's like you're out and you're helping. So like, are they exploiting their children, or are we just a family and everybody's trying to survive?
Right. And it's like maybe because they're doing honest work that's not exploiting, but that's exploiting, man. You're making your kids milk the cow. That's exploiting.
So what do you say in those in social environments? Like, what do you say to those people?
You know what? I just kind of chuckle it off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just explain to them the reality of it. Look, like I'm working 8-10 hours a day to put these videos together personally. And, you know, like I said earlier in the podcast, like we make sure that the kids are not, this burden does not fall on their shoulders, and that they know that. We make sure that this does not happen like that. And that makes us feel better about it. And I think when I explain it to people, they understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I have to call complete bullshit on that, dude. Like, as far as like when people say that kind of stuff, because I have my kids in portraits. I use them for TikTok content. I use them for a lot of things. And the way that I look at this is like, I'm creating content that's meaningful to me. I can look back at this and have, you know, like when I go on vacation with the kids and I'm going to take a photograph anyway.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to teach somebody how to take a photograph, or I'm going to teach something anyway. If I can bring the memory of being with my kids into that process, it becomes that much more meaningful to me and also to them, who they see I'm proud of my family, and I bring and incorporate my family into what I do day to day. So for somebody to say something like that, I would struggle. I would definitely give them a little piece of my thoughts for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have a thick skin, and it's just because like I'm lazy. I don't want to deal with trying to answer questions to other people, you know.
Yeah.
But it's whatever, you know. And you know, one of the things when we started this thing and we started making videos, we didn't know whether this would be successful. I remember thinking, we're gonna have, if this is not successful, we're gonna have the best home videos.
Oh, for sure.
These are gonna be, we're gonna have, in the history of mankind, we probably have like one of the top 1,000 best collection of home videos.
For sure.
And I'm taking that to the bank, man.
For sure, dude. There's that part of it, and the flip side. This is what is completely so asinine about the whole conversation of exploiting your kids in this way. Because the flip side is, what would you expect? Do you expect me to leave my children all day long to go and, you know, do a job that I don't love, go be a dentist, go be whatever, and then spend 1 hour with them a night? Is that better? Would that suit your, you know,
right? Yeah.
Would that be more appropriate? Or is it better to work together to make a living type thing? And I got to say 100% of the time, in every single way, it's better what you're doing versus not spending time with your kids, making a living outside, keeping them completely separate from the process, allowing someone else to raise them, all of the above. You know?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it's just a lack of understanding from other people, you know, understanding of the amount of work that goes into it, that kind of thing. So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all.